are true. You know that, right? It's the truth. I call on God often, and his ears are attentive to my cries. If you put your full trust in him, you will discover for yourself his everlasting and unconditional agape love. After all, we, each and every one of us here, was created uniquely by our good, good Father, as the song goes. You know that song? Good, good Father. No? Sing a little bit, Kristen.
How do you think? No.
Somebody knows that song. He knit you together in your mother's womb. He fashioned your innermost being. You're one of a kind, each and every one. He truly and genuinely cares about you, including your small concerns. Tell him about your sadness, depression, heartache. Tell him about your fears, your whatever you got, your health, your temptations, your family matters. Share with him your joys, your accomplishments, and thank him. He is listening. He always listens. He loves you. He cares. God is bigger than any problem, even speaking in front of people. Remember, greater is the one. You know that one? Greater is the one living inside of you. He knows what's going on in your life. He knows everything about you. His understanding is beyond measure. Jesus is King, and as his sons and daughters, you guys are all sons and daughters of the King, you are therefore princes and princesses, okay? You really are. Even you. Talk. Yes, talk with him. God is all ears. Those who come to him, he will not let down. Just ask him for what you need. My God will supply all your needs. He promises that. At least 14 times in the New Testament, God says we need only ask. He will answer you in the way he knows is best for you. Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden. You know that one. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. He says, don't be afraid, don't be discouraged. But here I am afraid here. But she says, don't be. My first encounter with God was when I was 7. I reached out to him for help, and he was right there. It wasn't long, and the trouble was resolved. Thank you to God. I asked, and God showed his promise to come to be true. Okay. I have had several losses, big losses in my life. As most people do, I guess we all have those. I've lost 4 brothers, a couple early on in my life. But as I look back, I see how God shaped me into a more caring, understanding, more loving person through these. I remember praying, thy will be done, when I was only 9. At these hard times, I saw the goodness of God through the many people who came to love and comfort us. So God's people became his hands and feet again and again. God said he would never leave us comfortless, and his word is true indeed. For many years, I couldn't talk about the sad stuff. I felt sorry for myself. I finally realized it was my mom who silently suffered the most, having lost 2 sons and a husband so suddenly, unexpectedly. God forgave me my self-centeredness. If we confess our sin, God will is faithful and just and will forgive us. He died on that cross for us. You guys and me. His promises are true. So we must think about and pray for everyone, not get stuck on ourselves. Pastor Steve said, Jesus is always other-centered and focused. We should be more like that. He was saying, someone else might just have it worse than you. God shapes us and molds us in hard times and even in not so hard times. We need to realize God has a good plan for each of us, for each of you guys. Might not be so dramatic, but you can be sure His promise to be with us, love us all our days, a sure and certain promise. I pray that you guys here will come to know and believe God's promises are true right now. And you are young, because you just might be able to help someone along the way. For God created you to know and love and serve Him your whole life through, and your neighbor as yourself. Don't ever forget, God's love for you is real and unchanging. All His promises are true. In 2017, Roger's cancer journey began. Right away, we decided to focus and fix our eyes on Jesus. For He has promised to be with us no matter what. And that is the truth. Makes the going a whole lot less rough with Jesus beside you. He promises peace and strength, His holy presence, His love. God is faithful, and His promises are true indeed. So, I had some little tips in conclusion. Draw near to God, and He will draw near to you. It's a promise He said, and He keeps His promise. Invite Him to whatever you have going on, and He'll be there. Kneel by your bed. Oh, thank you for everything. Say your prayer, ask Him whatever you need, and look for the good in everyone. And you will see darkness leave as the light shines forth. And ask someone, do you need